everybody, and welcome to another brand new episode of T Watches a Scary Movie. My name is T, and of course, we're talking scary movies. I appreciate you tuning in for another brand new episode. Remember, new episodes go up every Wednesday night at 8:30 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. You can find that, the video version on the YouTube page by going to youtube.com/C/Theron Reynolds Scary Movie, or you can find the audio version on your favorite podcasting platforms half an hour early just by searching TWASM or T Watches a Scary Movie. But most importantly, if you go to the link tree, linktr.ee/T Scary Movie, that's going to give you all the links to the YouTube, to the audio versions, or some of the more popular audio versions, to the TikTok page, to my Letterboxd written reviews, to my Twitter, to everything to keep up with what I'm talking about in the world of horror. So get subscribed so you can stay up to date with all the new stuff coming around. And folks, now is the perfect time to do it because this is the season 2 finale. Yes, believe it or not, we have reached the end of season 2. It's kind of crazy. We started this show back in August, September of 2020 as a bit of a pandemic thing, and it's just been going ever since. We're coming up here on 3 years of doing that in just a couple of months now, and in those 3 years, I have put together 2 seasons for y'all. And it's been nice to kind of find a good ending to it, both in 2021 and 2022, by talking about the best of the year thus far, and then hitting our all-nighter not too long after that. So that's exactly what we have coming up for y'all tonight. I'm going to be talking about the best horror films of the year so far. It is June, it's halfway through the year, so we've gotten some great stuff already. We've got some more great stuff coming out the rest of this year as well too. I'm so excited to talk to y'all about what's on this list. But if you want to spoil it right now, again, head to the link tree where you can find my Letterboxd link so you can actually check out my list, because I have the list up there of the best horror films of 2023 so far. I also got a list up there of just movies I've watched in general in 2023, which includes like all our Marvel and DC stuff and other great drama and action flicks like John Wick Chapter 4, Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, all that good stuff, y'all. Check out the Letterboxd. You can get some spoilers on that right now. But before we get there, we got some horror news for y'all today as well. So we're going to start with that, and then we'll get on to the best of the year thus far. So, first of all, folks, Halloween shopping is happening a lot earlier this year, as Spirit Halloween just got done revealing their new lineup of additions for all your Halloween needs this year, and we got 2 really big ones to be excited about. They have produced a full 6.5-foot Leatherface figure from the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the original film, now in the Pretty Woman mask in all its glory. It moves as the chainsaw is holding it. It looks phenomenal, folks. And as Spirit Halloween has been getting better licenses and have been producing just more and more really well done animatronics and masks and posters and signs, all these kind of things, this is the stuff that we want, because they know that collectors are going to Spirit Halloween at this point to get all of this really cool stuff. So why not? Who cares if it's hundreds of dollars at that point? We're gonna buy it. We're absolutely gonna buy it, to the point that the Leatherface animatronic is already sold out. Folks, it just went on sale today, and it is already sold out. How does that happen? Because we got big Texas Chainsaw Massacre fans. Netflix, take notice of that, because we still have not gotten any movement on a follow-up to your awesome sequel to the original film that came out last year. Come on, get some work done. Also give us a physical release of that movie as well too. But not only that, but they also have put out a 2.5-foot Crypt Keeper animatronic as well too. And this one looks like the one that was produced back in the 90s for like Spencer and Hot Topic, that actually used a cassette tape to play all these one-liners that John Kassir came in and did for this animatronic doll. This thing is fantastic. It's super small. It's bigger than the Crypt Keeper light that I got up there. Honestly, It's probably about the size of the pinball background here for Tales from the Crypt. That's honestly probably about the size of it there. But it has so many lines recorded on it, folks. It's an expensive one. And the fact that we're getting Crypt Keeper merchandise is very, very interesting. Because usually when stuff like that happens, it means that rights have been worked out somewhere. And as the Crypt Keeper has been in a mess of rights, Tales from the Crypt as a whole has been in a mess of rights for a while at this point. Is this good news? Can we anticipate like hearing something from Warner Brothers at some point now on this? I am very, very much hoping that we're gonna hear some good news about the Crypt Keeper here soon. Folks, get the Spirit Halloween, get your shopping done right now before stuff gets sold out. There's 20% coupons available for you right now. And our other news story is that the trailer for the Five Nights at Freddy movie has finally premiered. Y'all, this film coming from Blumhouse is set to come out this coming October. It's going to simultaneously debut both on Peacock and in theaters, and it stars Josh Hutcherson and Matthew Lillard about a young man who takes a overnight security job at Freddy Fazbear's Eatery and Pizzeria, a Chuck E. Cheese style location for kids that has been long since shut down after a string of disappearances at the restaurant back in the 80s and the 90s. And we find out that these animatronic creatures are still up and moving throughout the restaurant looking for new victims. Now, of course, this is based on the very popular game series that has been around for quite a while at this point, quite a large number of games, which I played a good chunk of them. Like, I have them all on Steam, but I've only played like a few and I have not beaten any of them. That's for damn sure, which is going to give me motivation to go back and play them and have you guys kind of pay attention to that as well too. Maybe I'll pick up the VR version because, you know, your boy is big on VR these days as well. And I know there is a VR game for Five Nights at Freddy's out there, but it looks good. It looks good, y'all. It looks like it's gonna run a PG-13 rating here, and the monsters, the animatronics are looking spot on. I don't know lore well enough to know whether or not some of the animatronics they're showing are from like the later entries in the game or if they're all from the first one, but everything looks pretty accurate from this trailer thus far. Looks creepy. It looks fun, and the fact that we already got kind of a preview of Five Nights at Freddy's a few years back with Willy's Wonderland starring Nicolas Cage. Very, very similar concept, though with this one kind of focused more on the established lore of these video games. I think it'll do just a little bit better, but it's exciting. We have our full trailer for that, which y'all can check out right now at YouTube, or just search it in Google, y'all. So that's going to do it for our horror news tonight. If you want to find out how you could save some money on a Fangoria subscription and some other great goodies, pay attention here to these following messages, folks. And I'll be right back to tell you about the best of 2023 thus far. Hey everybody, looking for a great way to stay up to date on horror news as well as read the best of articles on anything scary out in the world right now? Then you need to head over to the Fangoria shop and get yourself a subscription. If you go to shop.fangoria.com/AXDEW, you can use my own personalized 20% discount to save 20% off on Fangoria magazine subscriptions, as well as 20% off any other items in their fantastic shop. This is a great deal. If you've ever been wanting to get yourself a subscription, now is the time to do so. Head to shop.fangoria.com/AXDEW. Welcome back to T Watches a Scary Movie, folks. Thank you for checking out the horror news earlier. And now we are set to talk about the best of 2023 thus far. Folks, we've had so many great horror films come out. It's kind of crazy to really think about it and realize that we're halfway through the year. We've gotten an onslaught of horror movies, just an endless amount of them, both in theaters and direct to like video and streaming as well too. But it's kind of crazy to think that we still have so many more coming out and so many high profile films coming out with that as well. I love it. I mean, it's not a bad thing in the least bit, but Lord, does that mean we have to be very, very strict about the way that we're grading all these films, because there's so many and we have to find a way to really decide what makes one better than the other. Now, it's worth mentioning. It is worth mentioning here that there's obviously a number of horror films out there that I have not had a chance to see yet this year, ones that folks have been talking about for a minute, and I definitely do plan to rectify that before our year is done, because obviously I want to make sure that we're talking about everything that excites y'all in the world of horror. And looking at it, I have ranked a total of 26 horror films that have released here in 2023 thus far, which is pretty awesome, honestly. I'm loving that myself, because that averages about 4 films a month, 4 new horror films a month. That's a hell of a lot, y'all. That makes me stoked to hear that. And some of the ones that you might expect did not meet my top 10, because that's what I'm going to be talking about here, is the top 10 horror films of 2023 thus far. Now, of course, this list can absolutely change. I would be shocked if it did not. But what I will tell you right now, before we jump into that, is some of the not great ones that I've seen this year thus far. And just to let you know, for those of y'all that are out there searching, you can use justwatch.com. It is a great website that I utilize to let me know where everything is streaming and available. It'll let you know if it's available for free on a number of these streaming services, and it'll let you know whether or not you can rent or purchase it on a number of services as well too. Check out justwatch.com. Great site to let you know where everything is playing at right now. So, with these films, with these 26 films that I've reviewed and watched this year so far, because man, I've written 26 reviews. That's about 26,000 words, because I write about 1,000 words or so for each review that I do. So just about 26,000 words. It's pretty good. We're going to keep that up there. Guess we got to get that to 100 by the end of the year now, don't we, folks? Coming in right now at number 10, I rated it at 3.5 stars, is Evil Dead Rise. Now, Alyssa Sutherland absolutely steals the show in this film as the Deadite-possessed Ellie, with Lily Sullivan's Beth keeping up the tradition of a great line of Evil Dead protagonists. This dynamic duo here did a great job playing both sides of the film. We have a very, very memorable villain in Ellie, and we have another great protagonist just to add to what we already have in Ash and in Mia in the Evil Dead series. So good. And while not as bloody as the 2013 entry that came before this, I do think that Evil Dead Rise carved out its own chapter in the Book of the Dead with some light lore, fun scares, and an equally good hero and villain. I think for Evil Dead franchise fans, this film just adds more to what we already love about the series. But I do also think that at certain points of the film, it doesn't necessarily feel like we're getting, I don't know, complete is not the right word, but it just doesn't feel as filling as it should be for an Evil Dead film. Like in some aspects of it, it just feels like they didn't push it all the way into overdrive like they could, and maybe that surrounds the story a little bit. I think that Beth's story is fantastic, but we don't really dive that much into it like we did with like Mia's story in the previous film. And even though we weren't diving into Ash's backstory that much in the original 3 Evil Dead films, I still feel that we got more about him over the course of those films. So just lacking a little bit, but either way, it's a fantastic film. And folks, it is available on physical and digital media right now, and you can actually stream it for free on Max. So make sure to check out Evil Dead Rise. Coming in at number 9, rated at 4 stars, is Renfield. Yeah, the first of 2 Dracula tales that are coming out this year, with The Last Voyage of the Demeter coming out in August. Renfield focuses on Dracula's longtime assistant, slave instead, that's the right word for it, who has decided to find his own happiness away from the needs of his bloodthirsty mentor. Now, choosing a lighthearted comedic approach to Dracula, the Dracula mythos, ended up being the right way to go with this, as I feel the comedic nature of the film honestly put all the blood and gore, and there's a lot in this film, in a much better light. You know, sometimes we can see a lot of blood and gore in films and kind of think it's cheesy, kind of think it doesn't fit being there at all. But I think the comedy of Renfield actually made everything kind of go together really well. And the Knicks, I'm talking Nick Cage and Nicholas Hoult, they, along with Awkwafina, have this tremendous chemistry in the film. I think Nick Cage is doing some of the most fun work of his career right now, and especially in the last 5 years. And he's obviously having a blast here playing Dracula as well. I think that Renfield makes one of the more memorable versions of Dracula that we've ever seen, and this is definitely one that y'all need to stick your fangs into right now. It's also available on physical and digital media right now, and you can stream Renfield for free on Peacock. Coming in at number 8 at 4 stars is We Have a Ghost. It's a heartfelt tearjerker about the young story of Kevin Presley, who discovers that his new house ghost, Ernest, is taking him on this road trip that even he couldn't have begun to expect. Now, this movie is extremely light on scares, but it does make up for that in a heartwarming story that will honestly elicit a few tears here and there. I think that Jai Winston's Kevin is the perfect person for us to see everything in this world through. It feels timely. It's a timely story that, again, is very, very heartfelt. And Stranger Things, David Harbour, who plays Ernest, will absolutely make you reach for a tissue or two throughout the course of this movie, honestly. Again, not going to give you the scares, but if you're looking for a family-friendly style of ghost story, this is really the one that you want to check out. You can see We Have a Ghost right now for free on Netflix, folks. Coming in at number 10, 9, 8. This is number 7. Coming in at number 7 at 4 stars as well is The Outwaters. So, look, I could describe The Outwaters to you. I could try to describe it, and it would leave you utterly confused and possibly going crazy, to be completely honest. It's insane cosmic horror that taps into the fears of what's lurking in the dark and trying to make some sense out of it. I think Robbie Banfish doesn't give us a lot of information to work off of. He allows us to kind of like use our own imaginations to craft what we really think is going on in this film and what we're seeing. And it's a dangerous approach, as while I do think the movie is incredible, if you don't get it, it can be like beyond confusing. And you would think that would work against it, but honestly, folks, look, if you can work it out, this is one of the best films that I've seen in quite some time, and one that I walked into completely blind checking it out as well. It's one of the most unique films that we've had in years, and you can catch The Outwaters for free right now streaming on Screambox. Finally, coming in here at number 6 at 4 stars as well, there's a running theme here with that, is Infinity Pool. Yes, my first theatrical Cronenberg experience, and it sure as hell was one for the record books. Vacationing in beautiful Lakota, a novelist lacking inspiration finds that his amazing hideaway has a shocking way of dealing with the crime on the island that will take him down an upending path that will change everything that he knows in his life. Now, I was expecting insanity, as that's what the Cronenbergs are absolutely known for, but yeah, mouth wide open the entire time watching this film, y'all. I think, intentional or not, Infinity Pool absolutely capitalizes on the recent craze with the HBO show The White Lotus, and taking people who would never be in these terrible kind of situations and suddenly inserting them into it while they're on vacation. I think it's a great approach, honestly, and I can't really say too much about this. You can check my review out for it if you'd like to, but I can't say too much about it because honestly, Infinity Pool is another one like The Outwaters that's really good walking into it not knowing much about it, because because it's going to leave you shocked at what exactly is happening here with all of these characters, folks. So that's giving you rankings 10 through 6 right now on my best of 2023 thus far. Next week, I'm going to be back with entries 1 through 5 for you. So you're going to find out what I think is ranking as the best of the year right now. And then, folks, we're diving into some new movies over the month of July. I have some great stuff coming up for you. And, folks, I really do appreciate you checking out the show here for the last 3 years. Season 3 is going to be fantastic. I'm going to be doing more game streaming. I'm going to be talking more about books and TV shows than I have before. We got some great stuff coming up for you here, folks. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you. Thank you for watching and supporting the show. Folks, that's going to do it for us tonight, though. My name is T. We've been talking scary movies. Stay scared and keep watching scary movies. Everybody, I appreciate you tuning in for another brand new episode, movie review, game review, whatever it is now at this point. Don't forget, you want to get subscribed to my official channel so you can stay up to date for when I'm dropping new episodes, reviews, news, whatever it is. The best way to do that is get subscribed to my link tree. That's going to be linktr.ee/tscarymovie. Again, linktr.ee/tscarymovie. That'll keep you up to date with new videos, podcast links for the audio only version, as well as my letterbox where you can find written reviews. Get subscribed and don't forget, keep watching scary movies, folks. Stay scared.